G'day, Michaelkeil here, and today I'm with David Vitale, one of Western Australia's top real estate auctioneers. David, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome, Michael. Thanks for having me and good to see you again.
No problems, mate, and congratulations on representing WA at the Australasian Auctioneering Championship. So David did very well. He was one of two agents selected from WA to represent us, and tell us a little bit about how that was.
Yeah, it was in Adelaide. It was the City of Churches, an amazing experience actually. My first Australasian Championships in the field of auctioneering. I've got to say, a unique experience. Have come back personally humbled and professionally enriched from it. You know, it's rubbing shoulders with some of the very sharpest minds in the business, the biggest personalities in the business as well. I've learnt so much. I want to go back again, and you know, I'm inspired to just get better. You know, when you rub shoulders amongst talent like that, it just makes you want to get better. Yeah.
Beautiful,
Thanks.
mate. Well, mate, let's get straight into it. So, why auction your property as opposed to selling it by private treaty? And what's the benefits?
Yeah, good question. Each method of sale, be it auction, private treaty, tender, has its benefits. There's a few benefits with the auction process which I believe set it apart. One is it's transparent, and buyers like that. You know, they have a moment. There's a day, where they can come along in the flesh, and there's that moment of transparency where they can see the marketplace themselves. So they like being able to have that. It gives them confidence in the process. Two, it removes price from the equation. So rather than a seller getting advice from a real estate agent on what their property might be worth as an educated guess, it removes that component from it and allows really the buyers to come along to the property, assess it on its merit, fall in love, as they say, and go from there. Buyers buy primarily on emotion, and secondary to that, then they justify with logical means what price they should pay. It just allows buyers to become emotional about the property. And my feeling is that the emotional buyers are the better ones.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, mate, another benefit of auctions in WA, apparently they sell a lot quicker, which means if they're selling quicker, the vendor can be getting the best price if they get a quick sale. Tell us a bit about the days on market for auction.
I think, first, a good question. Firstly, I think it's important to understand that your interest curve, the highest level of interest in any property is in that first 30 days. Yeah, and it sort of hangs around a little bit up to around 45 days and then starts to taper very quickly after that. So what's great about the auction process is that it captures the market while it's hot.
Yep.
For a property. Not 6, 7, 10, 20 weeks down the track when really the market's forgotten about it, and it's the market's looking at the latest stuff that's coming to the market. So it enables buyers to come along in that time frame, in that high interest period, establish where they might feel value is, and enables the agent that's working for you, that you've appointed to really work the market, which is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to create a competitive buying environment for our clients' properties. Get buyers competing with one another, in a sincere way, of course, with that transparency. And then, sprinkle in a bit of fear of loss as well. There's a couple of things which I think bring out the best in all humans, whether it be sport, real estate, whatever. It's one's competition, and the other is, the prospect of losing something that you really want.
Yeah.
If a buyer wants your home, they've got to compete with it, and there's the prospect of losing with it. It'll give the agent, who the seller's appointed, the opportunity to ask the buyer to get to their best, to their walkaway offer.
Yep.
On two fronts, price and terms.
Now you do a lot of auctions. What's your current days on market for auctions?
Probably sitting at around that 30, 35 days.
Okay.
In my market where my business is, it's probably a little bit more, around that 35 days. But the agents that I'm assisting, out there on the weekend who I consult to, it's often less than that because they're selling prior to auction.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there's three distinct opportunities for the seller to sell. One's before the auction as offers come about. Another is obviously at the auction if it hasn't sold prior. And then if it doesn't sell on the day, there's a very good chance. In fact, most of them sell within a short time frame just after the auction as a result of all the good work that's been done by the agents leading up to that auction day.
Yep. So mate, if I don't sell my property at auction on the day of the auction, it's not considered a failure.
Absolutely not. One of the biggest misconceptions about the auction process, and it's exactly that, it's a process. I'm big on that word. Biggest misconceptions about the auction process in Western Australia. It's part of the culture here to think of it like that, and largely probably the fault of us agents for not educating the community about the benefits of it, and helping them to understand that it's not about the moment of glory, knocking it down under the hammer on the day. I mean, sure, as agents and auctioneers, we love that moment. If it happens at a price that's fantastic and the seller's prepared to part with their property on the day, and you just know when all the ducks line up and it's happening, the competitive tension is high. You'll know if it's the best on the day. If it's not, typically you get the opportunity to recreate that energy after the auction. Get that competitive tension, keep that competitive tension nice and high. And again, ask buyers, whether it be conditional buyers or unconditional buyers, to get to their best with their walkaway offer, and it'll sell after the auction. Yep. As a result, like I say, of all the good work that's been done leading up to that day, and all the buyers that have come around to the property because there's no price. They're curious about it. They want to know what's it going to go for. And truth be told, no one knows until it sells, which is one of the strengths of the process.
In-room auction or on-site auction, which is the best way to go in your opinion?
They've both got their merits. Again, personally, I prefer on-site, particularly in markets which are a little bit more challenging. In Perth, we've had a challenging market for a while now, as you'd probably agree. The good thing is that I think we've bottomed out, and it's on its way up again gradually, which is how we want it. But it enables your agent and the auctioneer to, being on site, that is, to engage with the community. It's a bit more intimate, create a bit more excitement, to harness that emotion about the property, particularly if it's a little bit special. Yeah. Even if it's not special, it's still better to be able to harness that emotion. Yeah. In room, fantastic in hot markets. Yeah. But because we haven't seen hot markets for a little while now, I've got a preference for on-site.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Now, mate, to do an auction, it's marketing. Does it cost a lot more to do an auction?
Very good question, and as I'm sure you've been asked many times before, Michael, when you're out there speaking to your clients. Short answer to that is no. Apart from the auctioneer's fee, a good auctioneer worth their weight in gold. So. That's normally around $880. The difference between doing it with an auctioneer or without an auctioneer. Yep. I'm a big believer in you get what you pay for, whether it be real estate or anything in life for that matter. So whether it be private treaty or opt for the auction process, either way, I would have thought that you want to give yourself the best chance to get the ideal outcome, the best outcome that's out there. And to do that, I think that every property deserves to be exposed to the market correctly, properly, and sufficiently. So whether it be private treaty or auction, I wouldn't be cutting any corners. Yep. It's most people's primary asset, where most of their investment and future sits. So why cut corners with that? Just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So to answer your question, the auctioneer's fee. Money well spent if you've got a good one.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, mate, you do auctions for us, and we highly recommend you. You've been very successful with all of our auctions. You consult to other agencies. Tell us a little bit about how somebody would connect with you to use your services that might be watching on Facebook or Insta today.
Thanks, Michael, for the plug. You can just give me a call. I mean, I love to I'm passionate about the auction process. Yep. I've been in the real estate industry now. This is my 18th year, and still passionate about selling real estate. and I'm so glad that I've found the auction process, because it keeps me passionate about it. It's a great way, and I love sharing my experiences and my knowledge with agents out there at varying levels of experience, whether they've been in the industry for 40 years and want to freshen up and get a different perspective, or whether they're just starting out. It gives me a great amount of joy to be able to help them along. Happy to catch up with a coffee anytime with anyone in the industry and share my ideas and my experiences. Free of charge. And you can get me on 0401 761 111. That's my mobile number, 0401 761 111, or just look me up by email, David at Vitale, Vitale, that's my surname, .net.au. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and again, I couldn't recommend David more highly. He's a fantastic guy, great energy, great passion, knows auction inside out. So feel free to give him a call. And thanks, David, again, mate, for sharing your insights on auctions. And thank you for tuning in. Bye for now. Cheers.